is that you might, maybe some of you have strayed from using this recipe because it says to use a grill. You can bring a George Foreman. I have a very small grill here, and honestly I skipped the part where it says to put it in the oven and bake it. Some of you that might be easier for, and that's fine, or you can bring a grill like this. I'm going to demonstrate it like this on the grill today for you. I have already prepared the chicken breast. I chose to cook tenderloins. They're a smaller portion, but for demonstration purposes, they cook much quicker. So it's not a real thick chicken breast, and so it goes much quicker, and you know that they're cooked all the way through. So the chicken breasts have been marinating in salsa. And I have probably 5 or 6 tenderloins that were in a half a cup of salsa. Now, you know, salsa, if you look on the back of your talking points, the very bottom, it talks about salsa, and it's a fat-free food typically. It's very low in sugar, and if you make your own from your summer gardens, you really know what ingredients you put in there and how much salt and so forth. But I like this recipe because people who like food hot can use the hot salsa. People that like mild can use the milder. It's very low in fat and calories, very easy. So it's salsa and chicken. That's all there is to it. While the chicken is cooking, I'm going to start the green beans, the cranberries, and nuts. And what we'll do is you can turn your temperature on medium. And I've got the ingredients measured out here, so you can kind of see how much we'll need. Now I have got the recipe, I've tripled it for today. So I've got 3 cups of French beans. I chose the French beans because they look nicer. They were no more expensive, and they're still a green bean. So I'm going to flip this chicken over and turn the heat down a little bit. The temperature, you should be taking temperatures of your chicken, and 165 is the temperature that it should be until it's thoroughly cooked. Tenderloins don't take very long at all. So I'm gonna set this there. Okay, back to the green beans. So we're gonna stick the oil in the pan, put the oil in the pan, let that get a little warm. And while that's heating up, we are going to add nuts, and I chose slivered almonds. They just happened to be on sale. Craisins, and then we've got some honey here. While that's heating up, let me talk to you a little bit about the craisins. Craisins are 6 times sweeter than regular cranberries. And when I started using this recipe, I'm like, where are all the carbohydrates coming from and the calories? It's these. So if you want to cut calories or you want to cut the carbohydrates, you can use regular cranberries. They're tart, and you can definitely tell they're not as sweet. Or you can use half the recommended amount. Now remember, this is a portion, I'm multiplying this recipe 3 times. So this is quite a few. It's not as many as that you'll need. So you can cut it in half or use cranberries. I'm going to put some nuts in this oil. It's starting to heat up. And I'm going to put the craisins in. And what you want to look for is that craisins should just get soft. So we're going to work with these a little bit. And I know they typically said to add the honey at the end. I'm going to add it right now for demonstration purposes. So get it all mixed up good. So you can see things are bubbling. They're starting to, the flavors are starting to blend together. The craisins are starting to get a little soft. There's a lot of sugar that, like we mentioned, that goes into processing the craisins, but they're pretty handy. And by the way, the analysis on the nutrition facts were analyzed for using craisins. And then you add your green beans. Again, these are French. Add your green beans. And then you fold the ingredients together. This is a great recipe for Christmas. because of the colors, the green and the red. It's very festive. The honey makes it a little sweet. Yes, there are carbohydrates in there, and you can reduce that, but it has a great flavor, and the nuts add a little monounsaturated fats, which is, it's always good to have some of that. And that's all there is to it. You put it in a beautiful plate, and I'll add to this. Okay, so the green beans are done. The green beans and the craisins are done. And the serving for this recipe is 2/3 of a cup. And I encourage you to try to teach, with the time that you do have, your participants how to measure. So this is 1/3 and this is 2/3. So that's a pretty good portion for your serving. And then over here, we add the chicken breast to it. And again, this is just salsa and chicken. So it's very, very high in protein, low in calories, and low in sugar. So this is what the plate would look like. One point of discussion that you can mention is if you have larger plates and you put the same amount of food on it, there will definitely be different calories. I mean, a plate this size, you'd have to put more food on it to make it look similar. So a good talking point might be to talk about the plates, the plate sizes, and how they've changed over the years. Another good talking point is to talk about bowls and cup sizes, and again, plate sizes. I think I got this set at Macy's or Elder Beerman and carried around and talk about how many ounces are in this, which by the way is about 20 ounces, and how much cereal do you eat and so forth. So portions are another good topic to cover. During the cooking demonstrations, I always try to bring something unique, something that helps the audience to cook better or to make it a little easier for them. And one thing that I found that the audience likes are these angled measuring cups. You put the liquid and the ingredients in, and you look down and you can see exactly where the liquid is instead of looking to the side and just kind of figuring. So people love the angled measuring cups, and then they also like these collapsible cups, measuring cups. So they're made with silicone. I'm sure some of you are very familiar with those. So look for some tools that are fun, and we will be providing some funding for incentives so you can purchase some of these things. And by the way, the incentives that you'll be receiving, or when you do receive them, I encourage you to use those in your class. Use those in Take Charge with your Dining with Diabetes class. Again, March is National Nutrition Month. We would like to have a huge impact in the state in teaching this. Don't forget to market your classes throughout the year if you've already scheduled them, your Dining with Diabetes classes. And once you return the Zoomerang once you complete the Zoomerang and send your receipts in, we will be sending you a check to help you with the food that you'll purchase and any supplies that you need. And if there are questions about the recipes or you just need an idea, feel free to call me. After the WebEx, I'm going to be available sitting at my desk waiting for calls and questions, since it's hard maybe not to dialogue in this kind of a format. So I'd be glad to answer any questions. Let me look at my notes and see if there's any last things that I need to say. Everything should be on the website, the flyers and the brochures, all of the main dishes, all of the recipes, and all 3 lessons. So everything should be right there, and I hope that you have enjoyed the cooking demonstrations. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to call me. Bon appetit.